point I want to touch on too is like really just take as much, like when you go to school, take it seriously. Ask a lot of questions, clarify a lot of things. I'll never forget this. This is how it helped me with my career, and it helped me drastically. I had a physical science teacher, name was Leanne Barreau, and I used to always just be I'm always asking questions, like why, clarifying things, like just so I can get a better understanding on things. And I'll never forget that I was in class, I was leaving class. She pulled me to the side one day and said, "Hey Don, have you heard about the NASA NCAS on-site online experience?" I said, "No, I never heard about it." She said, I want you to apply. I want you to take the time to apply. I think it'll be an amazing opportunity for you. You're made for it." And she said another thing is there are not a lot of minorities in the STEM field. And in the way your mindset is, I think you will like progress in the STEM field. And I said, just for you to tell her, I'm saying, okay. So I went, applied for $30. I applied for it. I, you know, had the GPA to do it. I had all the utensils they needed, all the credentials they needed. I got accepted to the on-site online experience, which was like we had to write a 10-page paper, had a couple tests to do, and like just doing the online experience was amazing. It blew my mind what NASA does. And it's like you have to write a 10-page paper about Mars exploration. It was about I can't remember it at this time, but it was about the Mars rover, the journey to Mars. That's what it is. The journey to Mars. Journey to Mars was an essay, like not an essay, but just an explanation of how we're going to get there, what things we was going to need, and you had to write a paper explaining about it. And at first I kept getting writer's block. I was like, oh, this is a lot. But I ended up falling in love with it so much that I ended up having to shorten my paper. It was about 14 pages by the time I was done. I had to cut it down. I had to cut it down to 10. So I turned my paper in, aced all the tests. I got a C on the, I was bummed out because I got a C on the paper. I was like, how? All this work, and I feel like it was well cited and everything, but I just think it was just a lot of points that I kind of missed. But 2 weeks later, I got accepted to the on-site experience. I literally went to Glenn Research Center for 5 days, and it was the best experience I could, like, in my life. I never could explain the experience. It was amazing. I went there. They paid for everything. Paid for my airplane ticket, my food. I did not pay for nothing. For 4 days, nothing was paid. I didn't pay for nothing out of pocket. Went there, we had to do a presentation on the Mars, like we had to build a Mars rover. It was a team building exercise, which I love. It was like everybody, we had to sign different things, we had to choose. It was a project manager, software programmer, systems engineer, test engineer. We basically had to build and design a Mars robot from scratch in like 4 hours. And I was the software programmer. When I tell you I was pressed, but I figured out how to program a Mars robot in like 2 hours. And just the way I am as a person, once I learn it, I want to get better and better and better at it. And so once we did our first presentation, we did decent. We didn't pick up no rocks or anything because that was one of the objectives. Whoever picked the most rocks win. So I did that. I did that, got back to we came back to the hotel. I literally came back, got on my computer, was like, you know what, I'm making some better programs. I literally sat up to about 1 a.m. designing programs. And my whole team was done. We was all down there just working on, they was working on their thing. I was working on the programming. I had programs set. I had measured the tire. I measured the revelation of the tire, in one revelation of the tire, how many inches was that? And it was a small Lego robot, so one revelation of the tire did the circumference, we did the calculations. It was 6 inches probably 6 inches per revelation. So I set it up where 2 revelations, the arm would drop, whatever it would pick up, it would bring back to the base. Had one where you drove it, you drop it, it would turn a full 180 and bring it back to base. So I had programs set up. We were setting programs up, and it was just amazing to see me, like, us do all that in the matter of 3-4 hours. And the second day we had a little more advanced one. We did a lot better. We ended up not winning. Like, it was some amazing, like, the other teams had some amazing robots, but just to do that from scratch. And we had the smallest team. Green team had the smallest team of the whole experience. So then at the end we had a presentation. I had a NASA mentor that just saw, we talked, we had a little mock interview. He kind of motivated me, and that's the thing we'll touch on later as well. And that was the thing, he kind of motivated me to, like, go further and want to go into engineering, because he said, man, with your mindset, the way you do things, you need to, like, you're not a tech level, you have an engineering, you need to look into being a full-blown engineer. And I'm still considering it either engineering, technology, engineering. I'm still on the verge of it, but yeah, I did that. But once we had a little ceremony, and they had team MVPs, and I'm thinking, because we had a great, the girl that was the project manager did a great job. I was thinking, okay, she gonna get it, because she held the team together. She was a great manager. She made everything was okay. But I got called team MVP. She said with the way he picked up that software development in that short period of time, where he built his team up, motivated his team to just get things done and push things, and I was made the team MVP, and it was an amazing experience. Like, it's something I still talk about, and that even goes for, it's gonna be on 2 videos. So if anybody that's interested in NCAS, I would tell you this, like, it was like I will say this, like, me going to that NASA internship, that NCAS internship, opened up so many doors, not just for me just wanting to expand higher in education, but also when I started doing job interviews, when I used to touch points, I put that on my resume, and when they see that, they just be amazed by. I had multiple jobs ask me, I'm interested to know what you did here. You went to NASA, explain what you did here, and it got me so many, like, in the job market, it got me hired, because it got me great offers from different jobs. It was like, that's why I say, if you're watching this video for just on the NCAS thing, just do it. If it comes up, apply for it. It's not that you will love it. If you a STEM person, you will fall in love with it. I know everybody that I know that went had an amazing experience with it, especially me. But also, it helps you just going forward. It can help you with, if you wanted to go, if you still was not sure about going forward after getting your associates at your community college, or if you wasn't sure about going in the STEM field, when you see NASA, one of the big things that really had me interested in NASA, what I was blown away about, was the amount of minorities that work for NASA. Like, my mentor was an aerospace engineer, a black guy from Atlanta, and, like, it was another guy there, electronics engineer, another black guy. The lady that ran it, she worked at JSC, was black. It was amazing, like, for you to be a minority and see that NASA has a lot of opportunities available for you. It will blow your mind. Like, you will leave like, wow, I can do this, and that's why I say, take advantage of every opportunity that you have in front of you. Don't just like, I'll do it next year. I'm not, you never know what you're capable of. I didn't know what I was capable of until I did it. Like, when I went out there and actually did it, it was amazing experience. So I will say this, if you're interested in it, I can put a link in it. I can put a link in the description. I can you know, help you, whatever. If you have any questions about it, I can guide you in the right direction. I can guide you to people that have done it or whatever. But if you got a community college now and you in the STEM, do it. It's worth it.